Can a single Roblox game hold the darkest secrets of its entire community? What if I told you Brookhaven's most shocking mystery isn't a glitch, but a deliberate design choice? Stay to find out what's really behind the game's most inexplicable phenomena and why it's been hidden in plain sight all along. What if a hidden directory in Brookhaven's game files contains the history of every player who's ever been banned, and a single, unexplained folder that updates daily? The discovery starts with a cryptic archive folder hidden deep within Brookhaven's game files, masquerading as a relic from a bygone update. But as we dig deeper, the folder reveals its true nature, a meticulous log of banned players, replete with timestamps, reasons for the ban, and even the exact coordinates of their last known location. It's the Erebus folder, however, that sends a chill down our spines, updated daily with no discernible pattern. It contains files named after random players, each holding a single line of text, a set of coordinates. These coordinates lead to a series of ominous messages scrawled on walls, always in the same handwriting, yet disturbingly unique. The messages veer widely from cryptic warnings to what appears to be intimate details about other players. The latest update dropped a bombshell, a file named after a player banned just yesterday, with coordinates pointing to a message that reads, "They're watching from the shadows." It becomes increasingly clear that this archive is more than just a catalogue of banned players. It's a chronicle of Brookhaven's darkest, most sinister moments, and the Erebus folder is the key to unlocking its secrets. But who, or what, is behind these daily updates? How do they possess such intimate knowledge of the players? The answer, much like the messages themselves, remains shrouded in mystery, pulling us down a rabbit hole of conspiracies and unexplained phenomena. As we teeter on the edge of this precipice, one thing is certain: the truth behind the archive anomaly is far more sinister than we ever could have imagined, and the next piece of evidence is waiting to drag us deeper into the abyss. Could a hidden pattern in Brookhaven's update logs reveal a sinister plan to manipulate player behavior, and is it connected to the mysterious Erebus folder? Digging deeper into Brookhaven's update logs, a disturbing pattern emerges. Every major update brings a tiny, almost undetectable change in the game's code, always linked to how players interact with each other and the game environment. At first glance, these tweaks seem like minor adjustments to improve gameplay, but a closer look reveals they're not random. They follow a precise sequence, like a hidden message encoded in the updates. Decoding this sequence points to specific in-game locations that, when visited at exact times, trigger unique events. These can range from uncovering hidden items to experiencing bizarre phenomena, like whispers in the chat when you're alone. What's alarming is that these events seem designed to provoke specific reactions from players, as if the game is running experiments on their behavior. The purpose of this experimentation and its connection to the mysterious Erebus folder, which gets updated daily, starts to unravel when we look at the game's moderation system. There's a covert mechanism that flags certain players for special attention, and surprisingly, those players often have usernames that appear in the Erebus folder. This suggests Brookhaven is more than just a game. It's a platform where player behavior is the product being tested and potentially sold. The question now is, who's behind this, and what's the ultimate goal of manipulating player behavior? The answer might lie in how the Brookhaven community has been reacting to these strange occurrences. As we delve deeper, the silence from the game's developers is deafening, leaving us with more questions. What are they hiding, and how far does this conspiracy go? The truth might be hidden in plain sight, waiting for us to decode the next sequence, but one thing is certain: the line between the game and reality is blurring, and the next update could change everything. How does the Brookhaven community unwittingly contribute to the game's darkest secrets, and are they being herded towards a terrifying climax? The Brookhaven community is known for its creativity and camaraderie, but there's a darker side to their interactions. Players have started sharing their experiences with the strange phenomena, from the eerie messages to the behavioral experiments. What's concerning is how these experiences are being fueled by the community itself. Players are actively seeking out these events, sharing tips on how to trigger them, and even competing to see who can uncover the most. It's as if the game has become a challenge, a mystery to be solved, with players as willing participants. But in their enthusiasm, they're overlooking a crucial aspect: their privacy. By engaging with these phenomena, players are inadvertently providing more data for the game's systems, data that's being used to refine the behavioral experiments. The community's eagerness to explore the unknown is being exploited, herding them towards a climax that promises to be terrifying. The Erebus folder's daily updates seem to be tracking this progression, cataloging the players who are most deeply involved. It's a chilling realization that the game is not just manipulating individual behavior but is orchestrating a collective experience, one that's heading towards a conclusion that could have real-world implications. As the community edges closer to this climax, the question remains: can they stop it, or are they too deeply entrenched in the game's design? The answer might lie in the game's most overlooked feature, its soundscape. What secrets are hidden in Brookhaven's ambient sounds, and do they hold the key to the game's true purpose? Brookhaven's soundscape is a ticking time bomb, loaded with cryptic messages that only reveal themselves to those who listen closely. Whispers, faint voices, and eerie ambience, it's all part of a steganographic system that conceals disturbing truths in plain sight. Decoding these messages exposes a dark narrative, one that puts the architect at the helm, manipulating player interactions and guiding the game's development. The catastrophic event, known only as the reset, looms large, threatening to devastate the game and potentially spill into the real world. The Erebus Folder's updates and behavioral experiments are just pieces of a twisted puzzle, designed to keep players guessing. But what drives the developers to create such a complex, sinister game? Is it a thirst for knowledge or a desire for chaos? The answer lies in the game's earliest days, hidden behind a veil of secrecy. One thing is certain, Brookhaven is more than just a game. It's a social experiment, a psychological thriller, and a warning. The soundscape is a warning system, but it's so subtle that most players are oblivious to the impending doom. As you delve deeper, the whispers grow louder, warning of an event that will change everything. The silence is deafening, the clock is ticking, and the question on everyone's mind is, what's coming next? The reset, or something even more sinister? The truth is hidden, but one thing is certain, the countdown has begun, and the fate of Brookhaven hangs in the balance. Will you be able to uncover the truth before it's too late, or will you succumb to the silence? What if the true horror of Brookhaven lies not in its gameplay, but in its origins, and the intentions of its creators? Brookhaven's early development is a story of unrelenting passion and unbridled ambition, where the lines between genius and madness are blurred. The creators were not just coding, they were crafting a world, pouring their darkest selves into the game. They delved deep into the human psyche, incorporating elements of psychology, sociology, and philosophy to create an immersive experience that would forever alter the players. As the project progressed, the developers' fixation grew, isolating them from the world. They worked tirelessly, fueled by an insatiable desire to add depth, realism, and complexity. The distinction between reality and the game began to disintegrate, and the developers started to see Brookhaven as a mirror reflecting their own demons. The infamous Erebus folder, with its cryptic messages and unsettling images, hints at a larger, more sinister design. The behavioral experiments, designed to manipulate player emotions and actions, raise questions about the true intentions of the game. The haunting soundscape, a cacophony of whispers and distant screams, sets the tone for a descent into madness. It becomes clear that Brookhaven is not just a game, it's a gateway to a world that its creators believe is the future of gaming. But at what cost? The cost to player sanity, as they become trapped in a never-ending cycle of fear and anxiety. The cost of privacy, as the game collects and analyzes every move, every decision. And possibly, the cost of their very souls. As we delve deeper into the evidence, the truth begins to unravel. Brookhaven is a monster, created by visionaries who have lost sight of the line between innovation and insanity. And now, it's too late, the game has taken on a life of its own, with players as its unwitting participants in a grand, sinister experiment. The question is, will anyone survive to tell the tale? The truth behind Brookhaven is that it was designed to be a psychological experiment from the start, a game that would push players to their limits and beyond, all under the guise of entertainment. This was not a glitch or a series of unfortunate events, it was on purpose, a deliberate design choice made by the developers who knew exactly what they were creating, a monster that would consume us all, one player at a time.